Variety's 10 actors to watch for 2019 and the Newport Beach Film Festival's Fall Honors recipients were feted at a celebration event that featured Alfred Woodard, who received the Icon Award, and Stranger Things' Maya Hawke. Join Sari Cohen as she takes us to the red carpet and find out who the 10 actors to watch are and why.
Hey everybody, Sari Cohen here. We are here with Variety at the Newport Beach Film Festival Fall Honors. Get ready to take a first look.
Variety's 10 actors to watch for 2019 and the Newport Beach Film Festival's Fall Honors recipients hit the red carpet in a partnership with Visit Newport Beach and Variety. Honorees included Stephanie Beatrice, star of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Cynthia Erivo, star of Harriet, and receiving the Icon Award, veteran actress Alfred Woodard, who stars in the upcoming film Clemency.
You're being recognized as an artist of distinction. So when you hear those words out loud, what comes to your mind?
I mean, it's really lovely. That word distinction is like, it's something special, right? Like that's something that sort of stands out. For some reason, the work that I'm doing, either in television, on film, collectively, it is standing out to both Variety and the Newport Beach Film Festival. And that's really special to me because those are worlds in which, 20 years ago, my work might not have taken place, but might have also been overlooked. And that's just not the case anymore. And it's really moving to me to be here today.
Can you recall your favorite moment being in the midst of all of that?
The whole experience for me was just so thrilling, and I just was, thanking my lucky stars that I was there and pinching myself. Having the opportunity to work with Quentin Tarantino was one of the coolest things ever. I mean, I couldn't be a bigger fan, and then same goes to Brad Pitt, it was wild. But I guess, I really love acting, and so I guess probably just like doing the scenes and then them being awesome people, and I feel like I learned so much, and obviously I have so much still to learn, so yeah.
Tell me how this whole ride has been. How are you feeling?
I'm overwhelmed and really happy, and I'm so pleased to be a part of this. Variety's treating me very well this year. I'm on the cover, and it's kind of awesome. I'm so pleased to be a part of this and a list of people who are very, very brilliant. So it's a dream come true.
I screamed. I was like, this is so cool. I've worked with Octavia Spencer, and she was on this list. And, I have so much respect for just Mahershala and just everyone that gets on this list just kills it, and they do such great work. So I was like, it means so much to me that, my work is being recognized in that way, and that these movies I'm doing, matter to so many people I respect. And it's such a huge publication like Variety. So it's an honor.
It feels awesome. I was just telling her that it's like so crazy to be amongst these actors, like to the right and left of me. I'm such fans of everyone's work here. So to be with them and be on the panel with them and to be considered one of them, it just is like everything you could ever want as an actor.
Tell me how you felt when you found out you were one of the top 10 actors to watch.
I mean, blown away. Just kind of, I still not really got over it yet. But yeah, just felt so lucky and especially to be among these incredible actors, and yeah, just kind of savoring the moment,
Busy year.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about that.
It's busy. I took on a lot of work, and sometimes you work on these things for years, and they all kind of coalesce at the same time. A lot of things start happening. I mean, I shot Ford versus Ferrari a little over a year ago, and here we are. So it's great. It's an embarrassment of riches.
So what do you see for the future now?
I have a 19-month-old who was up all night with a cold. So what I see for the future is maybe a little less work, so it's easier to stay up all night with him.
So tell me, what is life like after The Big Bang Theory?
Oh my goodness. It was such a wonderful experience being on that show, and we're all just excited about the next chapters and what the future will bring. But I'm forever grateful for the experience of that show.
Amazing fandom that came along with that.
Yes, I'm also forever grateful for those connections with the Big Bang fan world, and every fan will always be a part of the Big Bang family for sure.
And now you're one to watch.
Oh,
So what should we be watching out for with you?
I had 2 movies that just came out. The Laundromat with Meryl Streep by Steven Soderbergh, which was an absolutely wonderful experience, and a movie called Ode to Joy, which you can currently see on Netflix with Martin Freeman. It's a beautiful story based on a true NPR story, it's just a really special movie. Both of them I'm really proud of.
What's the one character that everybody seems to approach you with first?
No, it's everywhere in the world, across different airports, everybody covers the waterfront. They all know all the different ones. There's no one. Yeah.
Do you feel like you've left pieces of you in different characters?
No, I don't leave pieces of myself anywhere. I don't work that way. I do characters. Yeah.
Do those characters stay with you?
No. No more than when I meet someone, that becomes a part of my history of someone I know. But no, I think of them as human beings, people I meet. I'm not a method actor, and I tell other people's stories. My job is to actually bring their voice forward. So, yeah.
And that's a wrap here on the red carpet at the Newport Beach Film Festival Fall Honors. Thanks for watching Hollywood First Look Pictures.
Everyone needs that someone to look up to, and AT&T recognized this by establishing the AT&T Mentorship Program to help young mentees in Hollywood. So far, the program has had 7 celebrity mentors, including this year's lead mentor, Lena Waithe. Join Quinn Marie as she takes us to the red carpet of the AT&T Mentorship Program.
Hey guys, I'm Quinn Marie with Hollywood First Look Features. We're here tonight on the black carpet talking to the writers and the directors of this year's AT&T Hello Lab Mentorship Program. Let's take a first look.
The AT&T Mentorship Program was established in 2017, and this year's program participants include 5 emerging screenwriters and 5 directors. Those who were selected represent a range of diverse identities, including LGBTQ+, women, communities of color, and more.
So Postmark is about a young kid who runs away from home to find his sister, who happens to be trans, and she's been ostracized from the community. So it's a story about redemption and peace. It's a story about him finding and saying goodbye. And it's a sad story because when he does find her, we find out, we don't know if she's dead or alive. And so for me, like telling the story where it had to deal with the Black trans community, especially Black trans women, I really wanted to treat this story as carefully as possible because being that I am not a Black trans woman, who am I to tell the story and to kind of herald that voice? And so having our lead actress, Quay Tan, come on board as our consultant and really kind of give us the leverage we needed to really tell that story and to fulfill that purpose within the narrative has been really important. So
I saw the preview or the trailer for this film, and it looks crazy. When you read the script and you kind of like heard about this, what were your first thoughts?
I thought I've never seen anything like this, read anything like this, but what really drew me to it was that it's such a universal message. I think beyond what just the synopsis of the film is, I think it really does follow someone who wants to be validated and loved and seen, and I think everybody in the world, from young to old, can relate to that. So I really do feel like it's something everyone can relate to.
We ended up having to create the website kind of from scratch for the film. So I spent a lot of time collecting photos of just my friends crying, which was a very weird thing for me. I ended up with a folder of 50 different women crying, and I'm scrolling through it and I'm like selecting the right ones, and that felt so weird and voyeuristic. But yeah, it was just kind of a lot of stuff like that where we were just towing this weird line of getting into some deep darkness there for sure.
I think it was more about capturing the zeitgeist, what's going on right now and what position we find ourselves in as a country. And I wrote it mostly for the trans community as a whole, because I wanted to valorize these people that I read about in newspapers all the time that unfortunately meet a lot of adversity and a lot of unfortunate ends often in their effort to just be themselves. And I thought none of these stories that I read included like information about who they were or their humanity. And so I wanted to write something valorizing, something that I could speak as an ally to these people and hopefully write a story that ended more like a fairy tale or something more positive and that spoke about their character rather than just a headline, you know?
So you get the call. They called back and said, "Okay, no, you're one of the 5 writers we've chosen. You're one of the 5 films we're going to make this year." And it's just like, oh wow, everything's changed now. Everything's changed, and it's so validating, really.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
I mean, not just the basic success of making a film, because that's hard enough as it is, but to make a film from this point of view, from a minority point of view, from a double minority point of view, and the actors are black and brown people, and the crew, which don't see these people, but a lot of we had a lot of women on the set, which is sadly still the exception, but had a lot of women in our crew. We had a lot of minorities. It's gratifying.
One of 5 directors. I mean, how was getting that news for you?
Getting that news was actually crazy. I was actually on the way to direct another thing for AT&T, which was a music video by Chica. It was the High Rises video, and I was actually pulling up to our production house, and I got an email saying, "Hey, you finna be in this program. We finna give you all these things to make this film." And I was in Alabama. I was in the boonies. I barely had service. I just remember screaming into the woods, and my sister was like, "What's wrong with you?" And I was like, "Yo, you don't understand. My life just changed a little bit." And so, I'll never forget that moment, and it was just super special because I was already on a project, and then to be coming into for me a bigger project, that was super dope. So the progression and all that was fire.
Basically about a couple. They happen to be partners, a lesbian couple, but it's not about them being a lesbian couple, but about the couple that decided to raise a kid, and one decided to go on their own, and she's going back home and live with her parents. And how is that when you're in a situation where you're raising a child by yourself? Pretty much what everybody can relate to in some way, right? That's it.
I mean, that's awesome.
And the milk spills. It's a messy cleanup.
Yeah. First read the script, I was sort of wary about it because I just didn't understand it at first. But then I read the audition scene, and it said I was a tennis player, and I am a tennis player, so that really already correlated with me. But the whole finding yourself aspect of it is really, because I haven't even found myself yet. I mean, I'm only 12, so but it's really, and the film is more than just a cutesy little story about 3 girls. It's really a deeper story about 3 girls coming into this world wanting to make a change.
And it's more, this is through this mentorship program, which, it's these people that, have been trying and, who were chosen out of thousands of people to submit this film. I mean, going into it knowing that this is what it was, that's got to feel very special, right?
Oh, yeah, totally. I mean, this whole mentorship program is amazing. For them to give chances to people who may not get this chance every day is so great, who want to tell these really inspiring stories.
Thanks so much for watching, guys. Be sure to check out the 5 films from this year's AT&T Mentorship Program. I'm Quinn Marie, and you've been watching Hollywood First Look Features.
Ghostwriters isn't a new show, but it's getting the modern makeover from Apple TV, and Sari Cohen talks to one of the show's stars, Andres Mejia Vallejo, on what happens when a ghost haunts a local bookstore and releases fictional characters into the real world. Check it out.
Hey guys, my name is Andres Mejia Vallejo. I star in Ghostwriter, the new show for Apple TV+. Let's take a first look.
Something creepy is going on. We all see it. Whoa. It's a ghost. A ghost writer? It's not easy being the new kid. The menu board says come together.
Ever since you moved here, we've seen these bizarre messages. This never happened at my old school.
I'm pretty sure it's never happened at any school.
Alice's Adventures in Wonderland.
Ghostwriter let the characters out of the book. Mad Hatter. Alice, the rabbit.
That's Mr. W. Rabbit to you. What is this?
What are you doing?
Horrifying.
Look. Mowgli from the Jungle Book.
Why did Ghostwriter release these characters? Find the book and read it. It's the only way we're gonna solve this mystery.
Do you have anything to eat?
Nope. So now we can hear animals talking.
Where is my dinner? I have grown tired of the cheap kibble.
Did you see the original Ghostwriter?
I did not. I am from Colombia. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know about the existence of that show until I booked this show. I have seen clips, I have done my research, and what I'm trying to figure out is if they're going to keep the same premise. I guess the premise is the same, but are we going to see the same elements that they used or they aired in the original series? That's the question in place.
It's such a cool concept too. What do you like most about this?
I love the fictional world. I love the ghosts. I love the imaginary side of the show. Every single human being, whether you believe or not, it crosses your mind. Is there life after death? Is my grandma around? Do we have a spirit? All those things that the show talks about. They don't talk about it directly, but they do talk about a fantasy world. That's what I like the most about the show. It's a sci-fi. It's a fictional world that we're going to be diving into. It's about 4 kids that stumble upon a phantom in a bookstore. It's a ghost, and they name it Ghost Rider. The Ghost Rider communicates through words, written words that they find in books and papers, and that's how they start to communicate with the ghost. And what they need to do is team up to go basically flash back in time and solve unsolved business. Well, I play young Grandpa Ernesto. It's a younger version of Grandpa Ernesto, who is a key element. And they flash back in time to reveal a lot of secrets, a lot of things that have been unsolved. So he's a very charming guy, very honest, very trustful, very grounded and down to earth, almost to the point where he can be betrayed by people just because he's so easygoing and he just believes.
What was the most exciting part about filming this?
2 things. One, going to Toronto for the first time and spending almost 15 days in Canada. That was really amazing. The culture, the food, hokey. And diving into a fictional world, the makeup, the wardrobe, the physicality, trying to resemble the same moves, physical moves as older Grandpa. Because I had to study the way he talks, the way he acts, the way he communicates, his eyebrows, everything. That was a great challenge for me as an actor. And third, just kind of going back to my roots when I was little, growing up in a society as Colombia where everyone almost believes in ghosts and phantoms. And I grew up with all the taboo of, oh my God, there's a ghost, you can say this, you can go there. And that was pretty cool to be in a show that talks about those things. Yeah. Also, it's a reboot, so even though I haven't seen it, I think that it adds a little fun element, and I'm sure everyone that saw the original series is pretty intrigued about what Apple is going to do with this new reboot, so we shall see.
Ghosts only hang around when they have some sort of unfinished business. Something bigger, a real secret.
Quite a small cat. What I like in size, I make up for in charm.
Ghost Rider! Can you hear us?
Hey!
The whole city, Ken.
Super cool.
You have no idea.
That's going to do it for us here on Hollywood First Look Features, but before we go, I'm going to leave you with Disney Plus's The Mandalorian interview with Pedro Pascal, Carl Weathers, and Gina Carano. To see the full interview, please go to our YouTube channel. Until next time, thanks for joining us.
I think what makes The Mandalorian an exciting character for Star Wars fans and for new audiences alike is that he is a mysterious central figure whom we step into this outer reaches world of the Star Wars galaxy. And he's cloaked in mystery, and an entire story that's like literally hidden underneath the armor. So it's that exciting kind of journey of gradually getting to know the unknowable.
Brilliant, I can tell you that. They're both brilliant. They're
you definitely feel like you are
supported.
And in the
Big
presence of genius.
Big time. No, they both know so much. First of all, having written these stories, and for as long as Filoni's been involved in the Lucas film world and done so much with the Star Wars stuff, has like the right hand of George. I mean, you know, this guy is a guy. He's a resource and a half, I'd say, because you ask him any questions about that, and he really knows it. You know, but he's so, in a strange way, his generosity is that he's not so precious about any of it. You know, you're just gonna have a conversation with him about it. And that isn't to say that John doesn't. I mean, John is brilliant. He has so much in his head about this and so many other things in storytelling. So either one of those guys to me is fantastic to go to.
And Cara Dune. Cara Dune fought for the Galactic War on the rebellion side. And she's an ex-shock trooper. But when we find her, she's kind of gone rogue, and she's living in these, she goes from planet to planet, and she picks up, you know, different jobs, and this is where we find her in The Mandalorian. She thinks, you know, he's there to take her in as a bounty. And so we just see how that relationship develops.